Hello and welcome back to Football Manager 2020 with Newcastle United. Today we are back in the Premier League. We've spent the last two episodes looking at the Carabao Cup. We've obviously spent a lot of time as well in Europe, so we need to look back at our bread and butter, don't we, at the Premier League. Currently, 26 games in, we are currently sat 5th place in the table with a game in hand, which is today's episode against Fulham. In between episodes, we've only played one match, and that was a 2-1 victory against Swansea. We probably should have scored a lot more goals, but unfortunately, this is just sometimes how it happens. Franco Di Matteo, once again, his third goal in 3 games, and Fernando Zelaya with the goals for us. So yeah, looking at the league table, we are 5th place, but we are now just 6 points behind Southampton and Manchester City. I say just, it's actually increased by 1 point, but it's only 1 point because if we go back to the Saturday, they played each other and it was a 2-2 draw. So a victory against 19th place Fulham, which you'd think we should probably be able to do, will put us on to 48 points, just 3 points behind a Champions League spot. We could get Champions League this season. We've got 2 options at the moment. We either go through the league like a normal person, or we go through the Europa League like who won it a few years ago? Was it Man United, sorry? It was Manchester United. It was Manchester United, the 2019-2020 season. Hold on, that's this season. Chelsea. Was it Chelsea? I don't know. No, that one. That's the one I'm on about there. That's the one. Man United won it in this year in real life. Fair enough. So 19th place Fulham then. A team that we have already played 9 times and beaten them 7 times. It's going to have to come to an end at some point, isn't it? But I'm hoping right now we are far too good for them and we should just steamroll them. I'm going for 3-0. The starting lineup we're going to go for then. In goal will be Adonam, a back three of Matthias Jakobsen, Fernando Zelaya and Harry Maguire. The first time you'll get to see Harry Maguire in a Newcastle United shirt on camera. Johnny Santos and Marlon Charles will be the 2 wing-backs. I was debating whether I play Joe Willock because Johnny Santos will be missing the Carabao Cup final, which is literally the next match. However, if we play Willock, he might get injured and then we'll have no right back. So I'm going to play Santos for the Fulham game. Full well expecting him to probably get 4 or 5 assists, something stupid like that, and then Willock will just be sat on the bench. Maybe he'll come on just to kind of top up his match fitness. In the middle of the pitch, we have Matteo Guendouzi and Lewis Cook. I was going to play Christ Cheoule, who is only able to play 75 minutes. I'm going to bring him on at some point in the second half. I need to get his match fitness up because obviously he will be playing in the Carabao Cup final. Greg Huddle will be the attacking midfielder because I need to get his match fitness up. And if he gets injured, it does mean we have Almada anyway, so it's not too bad. It is going to be a first start for Fite Arp alongside Nicolas Monasterio in this match. Fite Arp did come off the bench against Swansea, but he only played about 10 minutes. Didn't really do a huge amount. Also, one thing to mention, Franco Di Matteo, by the way, he's out for 2 days to 7 days. He might miss the Carabao Cup final, but I'm hoping he'll be fine. Although, do we need him? We got Fite Arp now. So I don't know whether Fulham have just been promoted. I think they have just been promoted, which is probably why they're struggling. So I'm hoping we can just steamroll them. If we can get some confidence going into the Man City game after beating Swansea and Fulham, 2 teams that are down the wrong end of the table, I will be happy with that. There's an early highlight, though, with a Fulham corner. It is Knight going over to take it on the right-hand side towards the back post, and Guisa's effort is just over the bar. Zelaya with a free kick. He scored from this distance before. That was very close this time around, but unfortunately, it was wide of the post. 20 minutes in, then. Still 0-0. Let's give him a show some passion. That's normally the one that we can put a little bit of fire in their belly. Instead, there's a free kick for Fulham. Not sure who is going over to take it. It is Anguissa. Zambo Anguissa steps up, curls his effort just wide of the near post. Did I do my shout? My shout literally did nothing at all. Jakobsen's throw finds Fite Arp. He's going to play it inside. Greg Huddle plays it back to Matthias Jakobsen. Santos is making a run, but Jakobsen has to play it across instead. Finds Lewis Cook, now Guendouzi. Santos with that space on the right-hand side. Guendouzi gets the ball back. Santos once again with a bit of space. Is he going to cross it in? Doesn't. Back to Guendouzi again. These two must be best friends. Once again, obviously, they're passing it between them like they're the only 2 on the pitch. Marlon Charles with the ball. Greg Huddle's there. Oh, Greggy Huddle. Greg Huddle with his 4th goal of the season. Marlon Charles with an assist. We are 1-0 up against Fulham. First of 3. Fulham have got a player called Roberto Carlos. Is he real? He's not real. Okay, they've got a player called Roberto Carlos who, he's good. His long shots aren't as good as the original Roberto Carlos, but he's still good at football. Well, half-time then. We are 1-0 up. we've had 11 shots and 9 on target. How have we only had 1 goal from 9 shots on target? I'm going to passionately say things are going well, but I know you're capable of even better. Is it a good thing? It was reasonable. Fair enough. No changes at half-time. I'm thinking at some point we're going to have to bring on Chole. We might want to bring on Willock just to try and get him a little bit of match fitness. Not quite sure. Well, we are 62 minutes in. I'm going to give him a demand more. Going to now do my subs. Fite Arps picked up an injury. Arps played how many minutes? Lower leg injury. Right, Arp is coming off for Lewandowski. We are also going to do Chole on for Lewis Cook. That's all we're going to do for now. Willock probably will come on. I just don't know when. We've had 13 shots and 10 on target, and we've had no highlights in the second half. What's going on? What is happening here? Probably should be doing this. Probably should be playing attacking. It's Fulham. We've got 5 minutes of injury time. We do have a highlight with 3 of it left to play. They've kicked it off for a throw, I think. That's a very strange thing for their defensive midfielder to do. It's going to be Johnny Santos to take the throw. Number 7 throws it towards Lewandowski. Roberto Carlos gets there first. What a strange bit of commentary that is. Guendouzi crosses it. Somehow, was that what highlight? Where was a highlight there? What? That was a very odd match of football. Very, very odd. We had 16 shots on target and about 2 highlights. Who had these shots? Were they from miles away? Were they actually from, like, a different country? Was that the reason why we had loads on target? Greg Huddle had 4. Arp had 1. Marlon Charles had 8 shots. 8 shots! All on target. No goals and no highlights from any of it. How are you having 8 shots? So all of his shots were obviously cutting in from that left-hand side. All of them saved. None of them highlights. How would none of them highlights? I'm going to be assertive and say far from pleased. It was a bad thing to say. Zelaya looked a bit stressed. But I mean, most people got fired up. That's good. Well, ultimately, the main part of that is we picked up the 3 points, didn't we? 48 points now on the board. We are 3 points behind 3rd and 4th place Manchester City and Southampton. It means going towards the end of the season, obviously we've still got a lot of games to play. We're still in 3 competitions here right now. But in terms of league fixtures, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Only 11 games left to play. And we are almost in the Champions League spot. And looking at the teams that we have left to play, there's no big teams. Brighton, bottom of the table. Tottenham, 14th. That's a big match against Southampton. Manchester United, obviously top. And then Norwich, who we always lose to. Bournemouth, Leeds, West Ham. There's no big teams. There's no Liverpools. There's no Chelseas. There's no Man Cities. Because we've played them all. The only big one there, really, is the United game. Everyone else, we could beat everyone else. Okay, good news. Fite Arp is only out for 1 to 2 days. Perfect. Right, that is going to do it then for this episode. Probably a rather short episode. Next episode is the big one. It is the Carabao Cup final at Wembley against Manchester City. We can do with a victory here. How are we against previous meetings? What? Okay, we have beaten them. Hold on, can we find this out? So looking at our past meetings then with Manchester City, we've beaten them once. They've beaten us 8 times. We've scored 7 past them in 10 matches. I honestly don't think we're going to be winning this one. But you're going to have to hope. We got a draw last time we played them. Hopefully we can do something similar. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Football Manager 2020 with Newcastle United. If you did enjoy, do remember to leave a like. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. I'll be back later on today with the Carabao Cup final. I'm clearing a space in that trophy cabinet, and it's probably going to stay empty at the end of the next episode anyway.